Hi, welcome to the small shed. You find me in the conservatory cutting the bottom off the Christmas tree. See you in the shed in a minute. Now, as it's coming up to Christmas, I've got a few things to make for grandchildren. I'm doing some railway boards down here for one of them, and Harry Potter Book Nook for the other. Those will be coming up hopefully in the next few weeks as builds. And I just thought I'd stop and have a think about what's gone on the last year, because it's been a bit of a strange year really as far as I'm concerned. For a series of reasons that I've said before, I think I tended to lose it a bit in the middle of the year. In fact, towards the end of the year as well. I think there's a number of things that have gone on. Firstly, when my leg was bad this time last year, that pretty much wrote off Christmas and into the new year. And then it was the wedding anniversary. Well, you don't get many shots. In fact, you only ever get one shot, I think, at a 50-year anniversary. So that was a bit of a diversion in March. And because we were going to go up to Northumberland to sort of celebrate for a fortnight or so, the weather was bad. We didn't go, and we said, well, we'll go as soon as the weather gets better, and it never did, and that sort of pushed us backwards and backwards into the year, and there was this uncertainty all the while, and I just couldn't seem to get settled into anything. In the end, I think we got that fed up that we thought, to hell with it, we'll get some sun, and went off to Crete, Cyprus, sorry, can't even remember where I went, it's been like that. And we got some sun, and that happened to be about the only fortnight I think we had decent weather in this country. And then when we came back, I started to get back into the shed and doing a few things and catching up and becoming a bit more normal. And we went away at the beginning of September for a fortnight. Actually got our holiday in Northumberland Inn, which was great. And as you'll see in a couple of weeks' time, I've got a video up of something that we saw when we were up there. But I think certainly in the last couple of months I've started to get back into the groove in the shed. And for that I really owe everybody who watches, subscribes, whatever, a huge thank you really. The whole point of this channel, as I've said many times before, is to keep me honest. I've got a terrible habit of just seeing something new and shiny and going off in a different direction and abandoning everything else that's half finished. And that kicked in again quite strongly last year when I stopped making videos for a while, and then I was off back into that sort of world, and I've started to get back to how it should be, if you like, and that's really down to the channel and the comments and the fact that I get people watching it are a tremendous amount of support for that. So thank you to each and every one of you. And while I'm at it, let's just wish everybody a happy Christmas, because there won't be another video out before then, I don't think, but I hope you all have a great holiday, and we'll see you back in the new year. Now, the other thing I wanted to do on the video was to just go over one of the many half-finished things that I'd started about a year ago, that I've now got a chance to come up to date, and it's becoming more relevant again. It was a video that I started in December last year, and it relied on me finishing something else that I was going to make, because they all link together. And I've only just started making that thing a year later, so that's where the problem comes in. My grandson is, well, one of my grandsons is a huge Harry Potter fan. I think they both are really, but one's a bit more trains and one's a bit more Harry Potter. So for my Harry Potter grandson, but the double-decker bus that I made as a bunk bed for him some years back, has been repurposed as a night bus, which is a Harry Potter thing, and it's purple, so it's been repainted. Admittedly, that's a 3-story bus and mine wasn't, but we'll have to suspend reality for that one. So I've got a few shots of the reassembly of that, but it following on from that, he wanted something Harry Potter themed for me to make as well, which again, a year ago I was presented with it and I started to make it, and it got held up and stopped and didn't go anywhere. So that is now being made at the moment and should hopefully be finished for Christmas. So let's have a look at first of all at the Harry Potter bedroom and rebuild of the bus. So when my daughter and son-in-law moved, the very first priority was to get the children's bedrooms sorted. They'd got the upheaval of moving, they were moving school as well, so they thought the least they could do was to make sure that they had the nice bedrooms. Now, Henry's bedroom is Harry Potter themed, and my daughter had painted all the walls with this stone effect that was pretty impressive. I thought it was wallpaper until I realised that she'd actually hand painted the whole thing, and it gave there's a long corridor to get into the bedroom, and it gives quite a nice sort of appropriate feel to the place when you're going in through that corridor into the room itself. And you can see that lying around everywhere are all the parts of the bus, which again daughter and son-in-law had repainted all the parts. I took it to pieces before they moved, and they painted it purple, repainted the black parts. Now we went down early for the Christmas and spent the first few days helping out getting the place straight, and my task was to get the bus back together, and it's withstood the move and the passage of time quite well. I think it still went together reasonably well. I think I've got one threaded insert that I had to re-glue in that wouldn't come out properly when we took it apart, but it moved satisfactorily. And as I say, they've painted it all up in night bus purple, and it was relatively simple. The only problem with it is it's big, and getting it into shape in that room was quite a task, because the more you put onto it, the heavier it gets. I think it was about 6 sheets of 8x4 3/4 MDF to make this, and the more and more you attach to one another, the heavier it gets, to the point where I have to elicit help from somebody else to help lift the other end when I want to move it. But we got it all bolted up in place and ready for occupation. I don't think it'll be long before he's out of the bed anyway. He's getting to the age now where he'll want his own bed soon. But really, for the sake of probably £200-300 and a bit of time, that made quite a nice bed for him. They were about, I think, £3,000 to buy the ready-made ones, so I think it was well worth the effort, and hopefully they might be able to sell it on when it's time for him to move into something else. Just getting the last panels in, stop him falling out. All of the screws and fixings, as I say, were pretty much okay. Last touches just to put the front badge and number plate on. And that finishes the room off. We've just got the mattresses into the bed, and the room is now finished and properly, fully Harry Pottered up. So there we are. That's a sort of a taster of where we're going with the next videos in the next coming up weeks. There is a Harry Potter themed book nook being made, and hopefully that'll be something that'll make a couple of videos or so. So all that remains really for me now is to say thank you very much for all the subscribes, likes, comments and everything else. A lot of messages I've received through the channel, through Instagram, through Facebook, things like that. Whenever I've dropped out of the sort of radar for a bit, or I've had a bit of a wobble, it's nice that there's a little group out there that just gives you that shove at the back and reminds you that there's people out there that watch what you're doing. And yeah, thank you very much again. Hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye.